So good morning, September the 22nd, 2014. This is CISG114, Section 2, Web Technology and Life. Today is day number 9 into week number 5 of the semester. So let's get started. Good morning, welcome back to today's class. Today is day number 9 for CISG114, Section 2, Web Technology and Life. We are stepping out of the first learning contract, and this is the beginning of the second learning contract. Well, the theme of the first learning contract is inquiry-based learning, IBL, and the theme of the second learning contract covering the following 3 WITs. It's SRL, self-regulated learning, which is built on top of your experience in inquiry-based learning, asking questions, or looking up informations of your interest, doing the O observations, I interpretations, and A applications of your study of the topic. And do that with your learning partner through online discussion forum, using the journal to set the OIA you established in your online learning space, your journal space, and then move on to writing the report together with the topics of interest from both of you in your peer, and then finally come up with your personal reflective blog that will help you to summarize the topic of interest you select. So that will characterize the steps, the process steps of inquiry-based learning in this class that you experience in the first learning contract. Now, based on this process of learning, we are stepping into self-regulated learning today, the proper beginning of week number 5. So if you look at the teacher's message I sent to you earlier this morning, well, I have included basically 4 areas of task management that I would like you to study and learn in the context of self-regulated learning. Unfortunately, I have not set a link here, but it's okay. You can always read that from the teacher's announcements there. Well, but take a look at this. Starting this week, we are moving away from the common modules. We have finished the 4 common modules, and we're stepping into the topics of this course, topic 1 and topic 2 for this week. Well, a lot of things. Topic 1, which we're going to look at today, include blogs. Well, I wrote blogs. Wikis, you're going to experience wiki in this second learning contract, and photo sharing. Everybody knows how to take some photos. And then topic number 2, we'll come to RSS, very interesting concept, podcasting. That means how to record your voice over something you can see as a digital story. And social bookmarking, where you can always bookmark some web pages and not just store it in your computer's bookmarks of the Firefox or Internet Explorer, but store it in the cloud. So whichever computer you use, you can always download or use the social bookmarks. Well, let's come to it by going through some basics on the web, which you should have already done it 4 weeks ago when you studied the website. But anyway, let's do it. First of all, let's go back to the idea of Web 2.0. Okay? So let's go to this particular. Let's see if it's fixed.
Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com. This time, I'm going to talk about internet developments known as Web 2.0. Defining exactly what is meant by Web 2 is about as difficult as nailing a jelly to a wall. That said, most people agree that Web 2 involves making new and improved forms of online connection between 2 or more people, between 2 or more online services, or between individual users and software applications. Identifying these three types of connection also enables us to isolate the three key aspects of Web 2 as being interpersonal computing, web services, and software as a service. Interpersonal computing is about using online technology to connect people to each other in social networks or business teams. The key interpersonal computing aspects of Web 2 are therefore things like social networking sites, wikis, blogs, and online video. Examples of these include Facebook and MySpace for social networking, Wikipedia, blog creation sites like Blogger, and video hosts including Kaltura and YouTube. All of these sites allow anybody to add as well as to access content, to leave messages and comments, and to exchange digital media, including photographs and video. Web services are components of online functionality that can be plugged together like a kind of digital Lego in order to create an integrated online offering or mashup. For example, many companies use the web service of a payment service provider, such as WorldPay or PayPal, in order to allow them to easily take credit card payments online. This results in customers interacting with two organisations that are automatically interlinked via the internet. As another common example, web services are also frequently mashed together to integrate and map and related data from one website into another. For example, the property website Rightmove integrates local information from About My Place, which in turn obtains its maps from Microsoft Virtual Earth. And as a third simple illustration, anybody can cut and paste a YouTube video embed link to create a web page which is drawing content from two sources, and with YouTube here providing the web service of video hosting. The final key aspect of Web 2 is Software as a Service, or SaaS. This involves application functionality being offered directly over the internet. In turn, user data and applications can then be accessed from any internet-enabled computing device. For some years, human resources and project management applications have been successfully offered over the internet by companies including Employees and Clarism. However, online replacements for personal desktop applications are now also available. For example, Google Docs is an online word processing, spreadsheet and presentation package available for free over the web. As an alternative, Zoho also offers a Microsoft Office compatible set of online applications, together with tools for project management and other business functions. As yet another example, Juice has launched a free online desktop that also enables people to access their files from anywhere and to share them with others. Many people are still dismissing Web 2 as the latest marketing hype. However, this is probably only because they are unaware of the online service and application delivery aspects, and are hence mistaking the concept as being about no more than teenage social networking. However, in terms of both business and computing, over the next few years, Web 2 is likely to change the ways in which many companies will link together, as well as the means by which many of us will access our data and software applications. Not least, the purchase and installation of expensive standalone software is likely to reduce substantially, and in turn this will impact on existing key industry players like Microsoft. As Google and other Web 2 pioneers have shown, a new business model is becoming possible. This involves providing basic applications and services for free, and then charging a small minority of users for service support, customization, or association. One challenge ahead is to see how robust and more broadly applicable this Web 2 business model may be. As Web 2 takes hold, many companies will need to alter their online strategy. The old Web 1 business model was based around building a great website and just hoping that people would pay a visit. However, in the Web 2 age, it is known where most people go when they first log on, and this is to Web 2 sites such as MySpace, Facebook or YouTube. Inhabiting these magnet cyber locations where customers are known to be, rather than just expecting people to pay a company's own website a visit, therefore has to become a key online strategy. Hopefully, this video has given you an improved understanding of Web 2 and its implications. For more information, please see the Web 2 pages of explainingcomputers.com. So that's it for another video, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.
So we thank you, Christopher, for giving us this very quick review of Web 2.0 that I have introduced to you from the very beginning. Web 2.0 is basically interactive media. We, as users of the Web 2.0, not only could read information for a given website, we can add information into it easily. We can publish information, so we have a lot of the flexibility than before. We are the information generator rather than the information consumers alone. Okay? So, what about Web 1.0? Do we have Web 1.0? Well, ever since 1994, when the World Wide Web was produced, at that very beginning, all the information is basically informative information one way. You just go there and watch and read some information. You sit there waiting for you to look at it. But today is proactively going into you to tell you what they can do for you. Alright, so having said that, you got a quick review on Web 2.0. Now let's go to blogs and triangles. Because this is the topic for this week. So let's go.
You've seen the word, you've seen the websites, and you may even have one. But have you ever wondered, what's the big deal about blogs? This is Blogs in Plain English. To make sense of blogs, you have to think about the news and who makes it. We'll look at news in the 20th century versus the 21st century to make our point. In the 20th century, the news was produced professionally. When news happened, reporters wrote the stories and a tiny group of people decided what appeared in a newspaper or broadcast. Professional news was mainstream, general, and limited. The 21st century marked the point where news became both professional and personal. A new kind of website called a weblog, or blog for short, came onto the scene that let anyone be a reporter and publisher, often for free. As blogs became popular, they created millions of news sources that gave everyone an audience for their own version of news. Of course, we're using the word news loosely, but really, isn't everything news to someone? With a blog, a business owner can share news about his business. A mother can share news about her family, or a sports star can share news with fans. These people are all bloggers. How did this happen? Well, blogs made sharing news on the web easy. Anyone with an idea can start a new blog with the click of a button and share news minutes later. Here's how blogs work. Blogs are websites that are organized by blog posts. These are individual news stories, like articles in the paper. Bloggers simply fill out a form like this one to post a new story. With the click of a button, the blog post appears at the top of the web page, just above yesterday's news. Over time, the blog becomes a collection of these posts, all archived for easy reference. Also, each blog post can become a discussion through comments left by readers. Blogs make the news a two-way street. But really, the fuss is not about how blogs work. It's about what people like you do with them that matters. Let's say you have a blog about green living and outdoor photography. It reflects your unique perspective. This helps you build relationships with your readers and other bloggers with similar interests. Speaking of relationships, bloggers often work together. In addition to comments, you'll read each other's posts, quote each other, and link your blogs together. This creates communities of bloggers that inspire and motivate each other. Whether it's their ease of use or the opportunities they offer, blogs have been adopted in a very big way. Since 2003, there have been over 70 million blogs created, each with its own version of news. So the big deal about blogs is that they gave people like you the power of the media and created a personal kind of news that appeals to a high number of small audiences. So, it's up to you. What will you do with this new power? There is likely a group of people out there who want to hear what you have to say. You can search for blogs using Google's blog search or Technorati. You can also start your own blog for free at blogger or wordpress.com. I'm Lee Lefevre, and this has been Blogs in Plain English on the Common Craft Show.
In the context of the University of Macau, you can do a little bit of blogging with the UN Widow environment. You can also do it with your Mahara account by producing posts and journals. There, you can experience the meaning of blogging with your friends. Now, in the Widow environment, this is a baby blog system. You really do not enjoy as much features described here. In the Mahara, you can have a network of blogs. Definitely, if you like it, you can go to bloggers.com, register yourself, one blog account. Have you got a bloggers account? Not yet? What about a Google account? Yeah, you go to Google's, you can also have a blog there. Now, in the website, in the Widow environment, I include videos where you can go to bloggers and set up your account there, and also go to Google's. You can try this out. Now, we have given you a review of the Web 2.0, and we've also given you the meaning of a blog, which means you have the power to publish something in the internet and influence someone, right, with your views. So let us try to do some thinking, okay? The thinking, we do it here in the context of the discussions. We try to invite you to summarize your views. Now you have five minutes time to try to put something in for some kind of perspective that you can share with your fellow classmates about your views on blogs in the Web 2.0 era. Okay? So, and if you want to discuss your learning partner, you're most welcome to do it. You're free to make some noises. In the meantime, trying to take attendance. All right? Vintrance. Now you hear Vintrance. Okay. Ben, thank you. Tan, thank you. Team, thank you. Tiyutos, thank you. And then Cindy, thank you. Patty, thank you. Nifray is not here today. Okay. And then Emily, thank you. Seapo, thank you. Thank you very much. That's Linda, thank you. Stanley, thank you. Margaret, thank you. And then Yuki, thank you. Charity, thank you. Wilson, thank you. And then Sue, thank you. Are you doing better, Sue? You were sick last time. Sorry, Calvin. Calvin, not here. CC, thank you. Davis, thank you. Okay. Vicky, thank you. Kevin, thank you. Cindy, thank you. Julio, thank you. Jack, yes, thank you. Benson, thank you. Charlotte, thank you. Anderson, thank you. I've seen a lot of submissions over the weekend, so encouraged by the hard work all of you have been demonstrating to get the job done for the first learning contract. Congratulations. I was supposed to bring in some drinks and snacks today, but we'll save it for first day, okay? Because it's celebration time after the first learning contract. So, very good. Oh, by the way, please do not forget to complete the questionnaire. It was supposed to be ended yesterday, but I count the number of responses. I would like to see all of you to complete the questionnaire right here, okay? Questionnaires, now we have about 30 students. We just have 14 students complete the questionnaire. That means most of you did not do it yet. So I extend the questionnaire until the end of today. So would you please make sure you complete the questionnaire, okay? Before the end of today, okay? It's very important. Make sure you do that. And I'm going to share with you your feedback from the questionnaire on first day, all right? Very important you know that what your fellow students are thinking of what they do in the first learning contract, all right? Make sure you complete the questionnaire, all right? So, you still have time to do the thinking on this questions. Yes. Give me some more time. All right. And then towards the second part of today's class, I will check if you have any sign for sharing today or impromptu sign. All right. So give you enough time to do the sharing to earn some scores. And I will come back to the teacher's message also in the second half of today's class. Feel free to find someone who can talk to you. Oh yes. Do you know that you need to find another pair to form a team? Yes. All right, that's good. By the end of this week, so starting next Monday, you should have a team identity. A team is 2 pairs, okay? So look for another pair from this class to form a team. All right. So make sure you have a team. All right, dream team. Okay. Very good. We got the first post from Margaret. I think blog is a very good platform to express our own thoughts and stand out our point of view on the latest news. Through blog, we can also communicate our ideas with one another. Excellent. That's why I invite you to write a blog at the end of your learning contract. Learn to formulate your ideas. Learn to share views with others. Okay? And remember, after you have submit your blog and everything, all right, you need to publish the blog in the blog. Okay? You need to publish the blog. That means copy and paste the blog and publish it. Where are you going to publish the work? Let's try to come back here. So you can see that somewhere here. Yep, there's a blog menu on the left-hand side. You can click the edit entries about the scores and you type your blog title there, and at the end of it, you publish it for everyone. Okay? We need to do that so that everyone in this class can see the blog from the other of your fellow students. Okay? It's a blog, so it's a medium. So it's a tool for us to express our thoughts and share that with others. Okay? Take your time and type something in so that we could. Yes, yes. Yeah. It's, make sure provide a picture of your own in the your Moodle profile. Just use your telephone. You don't want to have a picture of your own. A selfie? No, it's just a picture. You can design a selfie. Something that you recognize. Okay, very good. We got something from Jack, and then Jonah. Jack said, Brock helped to spread personal or business ideas, improving social networking. However, it somehow decreases the face-to-face communication. Okay, we are alone together with the text. But, well, what if we can do it with a blog? We can also continue the richness of human-to-human communications. Let's try to do it, John. In my opinion, blog is a discussions of information site, and it consists of discrete entries. It extends the diversity in websites, which enable us to see photos and videos. Interactions between users online has also been enhanced since Web 2.0 was introduced to the topic. Okay, that's a very good perspective. Creative use of blogs. Do you have any creative ideas on how to use blogs for your learning? All right. What if I could introduce to you the ideas of blogging, educational blogging. All right. Remember, it's primary school. This is John Dewey's famous saying. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, these are written by primary students.
going to make the number. Make sure it makes sense and other things. This half of the year, I went on the 2K and the 2KJ blog, and I got to meet Miss comment. I didn't put my last name, my email address, my address, and my phone number. When I leave a comment, if I'm not sure about something, I always ask a teacher, my mum or my dad or my big brother, and we've been learning a lot about being safe on the internet.
Okay, and with that 14 minutes of introductions of some creative ways to help educations for blocking, you can see that a bunch of primary students are doing a very good work in learning how to block. And let's come back to our responses and see if we got some more thinking-oriented. Kathy was saying, I think block and share. Use some opinion about that day and write a soft diary. Okay, that's a very good chance to do. not for private events, but for something that you believe is very valuable to share with others. Just like, think about blocking your learning from this course. You try to keep track of the time you spend learning something in this course, and you try to use your blog to make it as a record of what you've learned. And maybe after that, you can see that the way you use time effectively and to share the knowledge among your buddies could be useful, particularly when you receive comments from others. Simply, in my opinion, rocking the Web 2.0 era is a good way to make people know more news in the friend state. When they update the blogs, it's a very good way for us to know each other, stay anytime and anywhere we want. Well, some of the people will argue, normally we don't type a lot. We use Facebook to take picture and then upload it. People know what we're doing. Blocking is another thing that written expressions and use it as a record of one's digital presence. Okay? What about Zippo? You can share all you want to share. Okay? You can find all you want to find in the Web 2.0 era. We're talking about privacy minutes ago. And in a minute, I'm going to show you something. It's not only a web diary to share your mind, it's an act of personal will. You gain what you want to know is more convenient and powerful. Okay, this is very true. Yui, in my view, blog provides us an interactive area. We can use blog for sharing some meaningful messages. Blog connect people with needs to press. People also can use blog to connect with friends from another country. Exactly the situations in the kids' blogging experience and improve relationship with others. Okay. Makers, the most specific aim of Web 2.0 is that user become dominant. One not to receive the message passively. Wow, that's very interesting. Active approach, right? Through the social network, people are able to get in touch with the website themselves. Okay, so we do not just passively pick up messages. We try to proactively push messages to others. See, rather than merely watching or receiving the information in front of the screen, in Web 2.0 era, we are allowed to share our own ideas. Very good, you got it. In this way, are we able to gather some strangers from different parts of the world that have same interests? Okay, we watch other people's blog and share or code it in our own blog so that more people can see it. That's good. We link it together. We can discuss with one another. First, our more sparks of our interest content. That's good. Actually, we do a lot of this kind of following. But of course, we should still be careful about our privacy. Now, this is a very big concern. Patty, I think blog is a great masterpiece created in the 21st century of Web 2.0 era. Due to blog, every individual is bridged internet and the intellect, sharing things, ideas with others. Regardless of an area, people are, by this application, will easy to find the people who have similar interests, okay, like us. And we're given the power to let the world hear our voices. Very good. This is something, once you experience the taste, okay? Do you remember the documentary I introduced you to watch called Generation Life? And you have to watch that. Exactly. Once you get that taste of, oh, I got a lot of followers, let me keep going. But recently, due to services like Facebook, Twitter, the users can create instant posts with rate of people who use blog may be affected goes down. Actually, it's not good now. People have less impatience to sign down and write a long article to share the stories. Like, what could I call the future about? Maybe. I believe it's still promising. Okay, let's try to see that. Selena, it's where people all around the world can come together and share their own knowledge and understanding of their preferred topic. Linking others' thoughts and research makes it with your own knowledge to create something better, improved. Being able sense, people can write just about anything they want, just information can be inaccurate, unreliable. They can criticize others through the use of block. It's very true, but sometimes just look at how, that's why we need to have a critical thinking mind to see what's being shared. Okay, so thank you very much for this perspective. It's very meticulous. And then this is CIS. To share, to start a block is very easy, Web 2.0, but to continue a block is difficult. Well, the momentum is we have. Block can make it easy to post some ideas and comment on the web. We can express our thought of the world. It's very pleasantly interesting. We also can know how others think after visiting the blog. That is a good way for people to connect with others. It can also improve our reading and writing skills. Okay. I think it's very interesting to talk about. It's very difficult to continue. But personally, I do not block often enough. Just like I would block only after I have done something good, which I believe is worth sharing others. But I love reading blogs of friends of mine who write different essays to help us to reflect our lives in Chinese and English. I do not know if you know, if you have heard something like the soulmates reading on chicken soups. Have you read chicken soups? Chicken soups are very good. Sometimes you just pause and read and refresh your idea and encourage you. The people who pick up different topics and share with you their perspective. So, and you belong to that type of writer. That's so much interesting. So that is career. Blocking the platform for us to share our thoughts. Sharing is the main idea of the blog. At the same time, we can practice our abilities to communicate organized phrases. Well, yes, that's very true. But there are different kind of blogs. If you go to the intellect, we have the government blogs, we have the companies blogs, we have the organization blogs, we have the personal blogs. So if you look at personal blogs, well, very true. If you look at organizational blog, maybe it's promotion of this kind of product or something like that. There's very different kind of blogs and different kind of functions. So let's come back a little bit. Let's see. I need to reserve some time first to come back to the teacher's message, but I want to show you this. For those of you who want to have approvals of cards.
Hi everyone, Home Building Fab. Today I have a highly requested video for you guys, and it is how to start your own blog, which is always very exciting. Excuse the sweaty face and messy hair, it is really hot outside, especially for autumn. I think it's like a heat wave kind of dying over here, so the sun is also shining directly kind of my way. So just bear with me, and I hope you guys will enjoy this video. To me, you have two platforms to kind of choose from, and that's Blogger and WordPress. Now WordPress, not the free WordPress, but I would suggest the self-hosted WordPress. Now there's quite a difference between these two. I would, for anyone just starting out, starting a blog, I would always suggest Blogger. I was on Blogger for years, it was amazing. I would probably still be on there if it was not for another site I had on WordPress. So I kind of found it easier to have both of them on the same platform. But otherwise, Blogger has loads of perks. Obviously, it's free to sign up. It's very easy to do everything. They have all the templates for you, all of those things. So basically, you just need an email, you sign up with them, and everything's done for you. And there are loads of people that will use Blogger, even like big bloggers like Blair Edie from Atlantic Pacific. She still uses a Blogspot blog. Now, if you don't want your name.blogspot.com, you can also buy a domain name and actually integrate that with your Blogger. So it's still free, but it looks like a hosted site, and you can totally design Blogger just the way you want. So I think that is a pretty good option to start with. Now WordPress, you obviously need a lot more skill in HTML, the whole layout area is different. You'll have to pay to get your site hosted every month with a place like GoDaddy, for example. So that might be about $10 a month for that. Obviously, you need to buy your name, your domain name for that, and it feels to me like it's a lot more upkeep than Blogger is. But there are loads of awesome things you can do with WordPress as well. You can get these awesome plugins, which I love. You can have SEO tools, which is really good for search engine ranking and all of these things. And obviously you have like total freedom over what you want to do with your site. And I actually bought a template for mine, a plain template, so that was awesome to use that. Anyway, so first off, you need to choose between those two platforms. Now, when you're done choosing your platform and you actually want to sign up or get something going, get a domain name, you have to decide on a name. Now, to me, the name equals your brand if you're going to think in that direction. I know lots of people just want to start a blog for fun, but blogs can be businesses too, as you have seen with all the big bloggers. And I see nothing wrong in making some extra cash or all your cash with your blog if you can do that, if you're so lucky. So next up is your name. Now, it's very important not to choose like either a silly name or, I can't even think of examples now, something you feel that won't stay through time, something that will just be for that year or that month that's in now. Don't call yourself Bieber Fever or something silly like that. That's obviously not going to work. I made that mistake and I chose Superficial Goals because my blog started out way back in like 2006, I think, as a gossip blog, and then it grew into something totally different. But then I had everything set up with Superficial Goals already, so I'm stuck with that name now that everyone knows. So choose or think a lot before you choose your name. If you've chosen your name, go register on whatever Blogger or WordPress, wherever you want your site, and then go and do your social media. Go to Twitter, go to get a Facebook page, Pinterest, YouTube, everywhere, and register that same name on all your accounts. Obviously, if you're going to choose something really popular, it's going to probably be taken already. So try and think about that. Be really creative and interesting with your name, and just go register everything, because you don't want to be stuck one day and you want to get a Twitter account after you thought, oh no, I'm not going to like Twitter. All of a sudden you like it, and your name has been taken by someone else, and people are replying that random person thinking it's you. So that could be really awkward. Now that you have all of that sorted, you can go on to the layout of your blog. Now, there are loads of places you can get templates for Blogger. Although Blogger has some awesome templates, especially the minimal ones I really enjoy. You can go and buy a template. There's loads of Etsy stores that have beautiful templates these days that come with headers and all sorts of things. You can have one designed for you if you have the money for that, or you can design it yourself, obviously on Photoshop or GIMP. Or on WordPress, if you have a WordPress site like me, I went to woothemes.com and I got myself a canvas theme, which is fully customizable. It cost $70, but it was totally worth it. But obviously, if you're on Blogger, you can just start out by designing your own header, a few buttons on the sidebar if you want, and all of that stuff. Background color, it's all lots of fun, and there are loads of tutorials out there on how to do all of that. Now, when you're done with all your site goodies and it looks fantastic, you kind of need to put content in there, because obviously no one wants to read an empty blog because there's nothing to read. So then you have to start thinking what you want to put in there. Obviously, you have thought when you did your name or when you started your blog, you were like, I'm going to be a fashion blogger, I'm going to be a beauty blog, or a lifestyle blog that covers everything, or a food blog. There are so many things to choose from. So now you actually need to start with the content. Now I have Official Goals, which is kind of a lifestyle blog, but more towards the fashion side. I do have food and all sorts of things like that as well, but mostly I have my fashion goodies. Then I have Fab Guide, which is lifestyle. It's totally everything. There's recipes, there's outfits, there's shopping, there's beauty, all sorts of things, decor. And you need to decide what you want in your blog. So it kind of has a theme. Even lifestyle, it still has a theme. People know they can come to your blog for a whole bunch of things. So once you know that and you specifically know what you want to write, you can start, and that's such a fun part. Are you going to do long blog posts? I know loads of people write like really long ones and they're really well written if you're a good writer. If you're not a good writer, maybe do lists of things, like 10 things you love doing, 10 outfits you love, or 10 things to pair together, whatever it might be. There's so many different ways to write blog posts. It doesn't always have to be full of text. But text is nice because obviously content is key when you want your blog ranked in search engines. And you can also decide how personal you want to be. Usually I like writing just like a tiny little bit, maybe about my day or something else, something personal sometimes, other times not. Some people decide to be totally anonymous, they don't want anything personal, which is fine as well. Maybe you have like a different view on things and people still find it interesting. So there's always a way to hook your audience. Then obviously photos. If you take your own photos, great, but make sure they are clear and pretty. You can even take photos with your iPhone or whatever type of phone you have, as long as they are clear. And if you really want to be serious about blogging, I would suggest getting a nice camera because they do take awesome photos. And photos, people love photos. Obviously, they want to put in photos and share photos. And if you have a Facebook page, they're going to like the photos, or on Instagram. So that's a really good thing to have. And if you use other people's photos, which a lot of people do, and which is fine as well, please remember to credit them because there's nothing worse than seeing people's photos and they don't get the credit for it, even though they work really, really hard to put that out there. And I think if you take your own photos, you will actually know how hard that is. So that's definitely something to remember. Now that is all I'm going to talk about today, and in the next one I'm probably going to go a little bit more in detail with things and with SEO and how to monetize your blog and all kinds of things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will have a post up on Official Goals with all these points in kind of detailed form, so you can read and remember, and I'll have some links to where you can go get things. So anyway guys, have a lovely day and I'll chat to you all soon.
Okay, now when you look at this video, there are a couple of things that is very good for introducing you the idea of blog. First of all, it's a digital story produced by this lady to express her knowledge of blogs. Where to choose a platform for the blogs, reason to choose one for the other, and once you've chosen the platform, what do you need to do to put something that is your own on the blog, for what purposes? And she did it and explained this particular knowledge in 9 minutes you can count. Now this kind of storytelling is a very good example of what you're supposed to do in your third learning contract, but you can try doing it in your second learning contract. Produce a digital story to tell your knowledge about something, okay? As simple as telling you the differences between two platforms and what to do to produce a blog. The second thing that is good about this is she did express quite a number of personal viewpoints on the blogging. And then there is something that is quite worthwhile for us to pick up from there. That is, why do you need to blog? Okay? Do you have any specific motive before you jump into a blog? Now, when you look at the syllabus of our course, Web Technology at 9, you will discover that we do have a set of intended learning outcomes where we would like you to try doing the following things, okay? To demonstrate that you can do the following things. That is called a student intended learning outcome. And one of the things that I could suggest you to do in the second learning contract, because blogs, wikis, and RSS are in the second learning contract, is that you do not do it very rigidly to for your journal or for your peer discussions or for your report. But you just really pick something which you believe is very practical. Now, what if my team is going to produce a team blog about what we would like to study or master in the second learning contract. We pick several specific skills we want to demonstrate. And one of these is we know how to set up a blog account for the team in Blogger or WordPress. We produce our team blog, which is supposed to be penned in as part of our artifact in second learning contract on the team blog. And in the process of doing that, we can introduce you what is included in a team blog for Blogger or in WordPress. All right, so that is indeed a lot of things you can learn from it in a course like this. And after that, you might want to measure the impact of your team blog on other people. Okay, so that is a very interesting project. And of course, we don't have much time left. Let me just come back to the teacher's message for today. Well, the teacher's message of today, it's already uploaded here in the teacher's announcement column. That is for this week, number 5. And if you look at the teacher's message for today, I specifically introduced to you 4 areas of self-regulated learning, which is built on top of inquiry-based learning. If you look at it, it's basically about task management. So first of all, you need to understand in the context of SRL, self-regulated learning, what's your goals in doing something, okay? Task analysis helps you to look at the assignment and determine what needs to be done. Now, I just given you an example using the latest introductions of Earth storytelling in the context of blog. But this includes drawing up a timeline. You need to understand, I've given you a very simple requirement that you need to submit at the end of the second learning contract the artifacts, which is already there. But what is included in the artifacts is really your own choice. Okay? So how do you come up with something that could satisfy your aspirations to do something, or the peers' aspirations as well as the teams? Because this time you need to work as a team, which is 2 pairs, and in each pair you have 2 persons. But you remember, each individual is still free to choose something specific for submissions of his or her own. And then you need to come up with a timeline. How much time do you have? You have 4 weeks? No, it's just 3 weeks this time. And you need to understand how much time you have to do what, so you break down your job in the management part. The management parts are interpreted normally in terms of your artifacts that we produce. So you need to set goals. The goals must be compatible with the ultimate products that we produce. And how do you set the goals such that the individual goals comes together as an artifact? You need a framework. Now, what kind of framework you need? It very much depends on the discussions between the 2 pairs in your team, because a lot of things could happen here. Now, normally, a blog needs an audience. So you must identify, if you include writing a blog as one of the important demonstrations of your team's achieving the intended learning outcome that's stated in the syllabus. Audience analysis is very important. When we look at the audience, we need to take a look at the topic itself. So you need to look at the information, the findings, and understanding what the similarities of this second learning contract with the first learning contract. Well, in terms of the first learning contract, it's between 2 persons in your pair. But even though it's between 2 persons in your pair, individual in your pair still have all the privilege to decide what topic it is. But in the second learning contract, you have 1 team, you have 2 pairs, each pair will have to decide what to do, but each pair has 2 persons. The reconciliation and negotiation is much more enhanced, complex, per se. So you need to identify resources and apply your actions ahead. And these 2 skills, identify resources for what you want to do, and set the action plans, involve a lot of things. You need to look into the self-knowledge and skill distributions in your team. And when you say you have a plan of action, what does it mean? Step to break down the large piece of work into steps of actions leading to the artifacts completed. You need to think a little bit more about this. And when you have that steps of actions to be executed, what does it mean when you take the actions, bringing together all of the identified resources, executing the plan, or you need strategies. Okay, strategy means you still allow individual the freedom to choose, but whatever you choose must be consistent with the ultimate goal of the pair or of the team. So you need to select, as far as I'm concerned, look at the number of intended learning outcome that is expected of you towards the end of the course. Choose at least 1, 2, not more than 3, and see if you can put it in the context of the learning contract and do it according to what you want to do based on the questions from the reading list. And that is a very challenging because you have the reading list everywhere. You have 3 width reading lists in the second learning contract. In each reading list, you have a number of questions. Now, again, you do not need to do more than 1 question per person per week, right? But you have 4 persons in your team. So 4 persons selecting questions per week, okay? So how are you going to organize the selections of questions such that when all these put together, it could fulfill 1 or 2 or not more than 3 in the learning outcome to demonstrate you achieve the goal. So that is the challenge, all right? So the strategy must be you have to set room for freedom of choice, but set constraint for consistent outcome. And the process must be continuously monitored. That means your team must have different roles. The coordinator, the liaisons, the secretary, the project tracker, so that we can always communicate with one another. Do you need to do it by phone? You don't do it by phone. In the context of the second learning contract, we provide you with a wiki. In the wiki, more than 1 person will work together and you can get immediate update. So this is the challenge. And then once you did something, you just have 3 weeks time to do it. So at the end of the first week, at the end of the second week, and before the end of the third week, we have to get the work done. So assessing the actions, evaluation seems to be very important, and you can revise your plan just enough. So starting next Monday, if your team had not been formed, I guess you might be in big trouble. If your teams are formed before the end of this week, so much better. Sit down, take a look at the 3 weeks reading list, and look at the 6 possible intended learning outcomes, and choose some of these intended learning outcomes. Remember, not more than 3. 1 to 2 will be good enough. Try to match this with the reading list, and go back here and come up with the action plan of your team. Set goals, what are you going to accomplish. Towards the end, each one still have to submit a journal, still do some discussions, because these are the processes you cannot escape. Still have to write a report, but this time the report will not be on individual. Your report will still be 2 topics. 1 topic for 1 pair, the other topic for another pair. Okay? In the first learning contract, you have 1 pair, 2 persons, 1 topic from each person. But this time, it's a team project, you have 2 pairs, so 1 topic from each pair. Okay? So the 2 of you must come to consensus what topic to write, right? Okay? And it must be reasonable. The challenge is you must manage it in such a way that you have come up with something meaningful and you can demonstrate achievement. And that is the challenge, only within 3 weeks. All right? So it's a big challenge, so it's a self-regulated learning, not just on the OIA, but on how to manage your resources, time and manpower. Now in principle, you have more people this time in the second learning contract, and the amount of work seems to be constant, just like the first learning contract. Okay? It should be easier, but the challenge is what? You need to consider intended learning outcomes. So read the course syllabus and read the intended learning outcomes. It's a very interesting challenge, okay? But the idea is not to burden you. You seem to have a lot of work to do, but these are things you need to get yourself equipped with, all right? It's not just memorizing knowledge. You need to manage yourself into accomplishing something, all right? So I'm going to stop here, and please, if you have not finished the questionnaire for the first learning contract, do it before the end of today. I have 30 students in this class. I want to have at least 20 persons completed so that I can share with you the feedback on Thursday. Now it's less than 20, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to end today's class here. So that's it for today's CISG 114 Section 2 Web Technology Online on September the 22nd, 2014. Until this first day, stay in tune.